Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn calculation of goodwill by super profit method. Before proceeding for the calculation of goodwill, let us understand what super profits means. Super profits are excess of profits earned by a particular business than what other businesses are earning in same trade with the same capital employed. So super profit is just excess or the extra profits earned by a particular business than what other businesses are earning in the same trade with the same capital employed. Let us understand the concept by taking an illustration. Suppose this is you and you want to get into a business. Now you have two options, either to purchase some old business or to start a new business at your own. Now I have supposed that capital employed in old businesses is also rupees 20 lakh and capital employed if you start a new business is also rupees 20 lakh, right? Now see, if you start a new business at your own, you will earn some minimum profits. You will earn some minimum profits, and that minimum profits is called normal profits. Suppose if you start a new business and you earn a minimum profit, a normal profit of rupees 2 lakh. Now see what's happening in existing businesses. Existing businesses with same capital employed of rupees 20 lakh, they are earning rupees 5 lakh or rupees 4 lakh. It means they are earning higher profits. They are earning higher profits than a new business. A new business is earning only rupees 2 lakh, while existing businesses with same capital employed are earning higher. Now why it happens? Simply it happens because of their goodwill. As existing players have some goodwill in the market, that is why they are earning higher profits than a new business. Now see, if we draw a cut-off line over here, now see, this business is earning how much extra? 2 lakh is normal profit, that is a cut-off line, that is cut-off line of rupees 2 lakh. Now this business is earning total 5 lakh while the 2 lakh is normal profit. Now how much extra they are earning? They are earning rupees 3 lakh extra profit than a new venture. Now this extra profit of rupees 3 lakh is called super profit, right? In this case also they are earning total 4 lakh and 2 lakh is normal profit, and how much extra they are earning over the normal profit, that is rupees 2 lakh. So second existing business is earning rupees 2 lakh as extra profit, and this extra profit is called your super profits, right? This extra profit is called your super profit. Now why they are earning this extra profit? The answer is very simple. They are having some goodwill. That is why they are earning some extra profits than a new player in the market, right? So I think you have understood what the super profits means. It is just excess of the profits earned by a particular business. Like in this case, they are earning excess of rupees 3 lakh, right? It is the excess of the profits earned by a particular business than what other business is, than what other, or you can also call it than what a new business will earn in same trade with the same capital employed. So I think that is clear to you all super profits. So super profit is just extra or excess profits earned by a particular business than what others or what a new player is earning in the market with the same capital employed in the same type of trade. Now see how to calculate goodwill by this method. Under this method, goodwill is equal to super profits into number of years of purchase. How to calculate goodwill by this method? Simply super profits are to be multiplied with the number of years of purchase, and you already know the number of years of purchase will be given in the question. Now see, if super profits are not given to you, then how you will calculate the super profits? Super profits are equal to average adjusted profit. So what are average adjusted profit? That you have already learnt. Average adjusted profit means the profits after adjustment. These are also called future maintainable profits. So average adjusted profit or average future maintainable profits minus normal profits, right? Then you will get the super profits. Simple. I think that is clear to you how to find super profits. Average adjusted profit, or you can also call it future maintainable profit, or these are also called sometimes actual profits. So actual profits made by a particular business minus normal profits, as we have discussed in this illustration. See, average adjusted profit by this business is rupees 5 lakh. So 5 lakh average adjusted profit by this business minus normal profit. Normal profit means what others are earning in the same trade with same capital, or what a new player will earn with the same capital employed in the same trade. Now see, the normal profits are given in this example 2 lakh. So super profits are 3 lakh, right? Average profits or actual profits minus normal profits, right? Now see, suppose normal profits are not given to you, then you have to calculate normal profits also. So normal profits can be calculated by multiplying the normal rate of return with capital employed. Your normal profits are equal to capital employed into normal rate of return. Now what is capital employed? It means simply the amount employed in the business, the amount invested in the business, right? And if capital employed is given, then that is okay, it will be multiplied with the normal rate of return. Normal rate of return will be given in the question, right? Normal rate of return will be given in the question. And if capital employed, suppose now capital employed is also not given to you, then how to calculate capital employed? Okay, let us see. If capital employed is not given in the question, then how it can be calculated? It can be calculated as per the following two approaches. We have two approaches, two ways to calculate your capital employed. Either we can calculate by the liability side approach, or we can calculate by the asset side approach. Now which approach you have to apply, it depends upon the data. If this data is given, then you will apply the liability side approach. If this data is given, then you will apply the asset side approach. Now see, firstly listen what capital employed means. It simply means, capital employed means the amount employed, means the amount invested in the business for long term, right? Your capital employed means the total amount invested in the business for long term. Now see, according to the liability side approach, your capital employed is equal to capitals of the partners. We are calculating the capital employed in case of partnership na. So your capital of A plus capital of B, how many partners are there? Their capitals plus reserves, right? Reserves are also considered capital employed. The amount of reserve also remain in the business for long term, capital also remain in the business for long term, plus long term loans. Yes, your long term loans are also considered as the capital employed in the business. Not only capital, not only reserve, your long term loans are also considered as the capital invested, right? As I told you, capital employed means the amount invested in the business for long term purpose. Capital is invested for the long term, reserves are invested for long term loans are also invested for long term. So capitals plus reserve plus long term loans plus surplus. Surplus, what surplus means? Surplus means the credit balance of profit and loss, credit balance of P&L. Whatever the balance of profits is given on liability side is called your surplus or credit balance of P&L, minus fictitious assets, minus non-trade investment, and minus goodwill that is already existing in the business. So according to the liability side approach, capitals plus reserve plus long-term loans plus surpluses minus fictitious assets. Now see, what are the fictitious assets? Fictitious assets means the losses. These are the basically losses like your deferred revenue expenditure, advertisement suspense. These are your fictitious assets, minus non-trade investment. Non-trade investment is also not considered the capital employed, right? Minus goodwill, if any existing. There may be some existing goodwill in that business, then that will also be deducted from them. Then you will get your capital employed, right? And if you want to calculate the capital employed by asset side approach, then what you have to do according to this approach, capital employed is equal to all assets. In this approach you have to take all assets, but excluding, but except fictitious assets, non-trade investment, and existing goodwill. You have to take all assets according to this approach, all assets, but except fictitious assets, non-trade investment, and existing goodwill. Then you will subtract the outside liabilities. Fine, then you will subtract the outside liabilities from these all assets. Fine, according to this approach you will firstly find all assets. You will take all assets. आपने सारी asset लेनी है, but कौन कौन सी asset छोड़ के, ये वाली asset छोड़ के. Then you will deduct the outsider liabilities. outsider liabilities I call it particularly current liabilities. Not only outsider liability I call it particularly as current liabilities. So according to this approach, your capital employed is equal to all assets except fictitious assets, non-trade investment and existing goodwill. Then you have to deduct current liabilities from that. Then you will get your capital employed, right? Okay, for more clarification, let us check a balance sheet. I will show you to calculation of capital employed by both of the approaches. I will show you calculation of capital employed by both approaches. Firstly, we will calculate the capital employed from this balance sheet by liability side approach. Now, see, in the liability side approach, what we have to do? We have to take the long-term money invested, right? That is capital plus reserves plus long-term loan if any plus surplus if any minus fictitious assets minus non-trade investment minus goodwill that is already existing in the business. Now check, in this example your capital employed is equal to capitals of A and B are given 1 lakh plus 2 lakh 3 lakh. Capital is given 3 lakh plus reserves are also given there, so plus 1 lakh reserves are given plus surplus is what? Credit balance of P&L. So credit balance of P&L is given, liability side, whatever the balance of P&L is given in on liability side, that is called your credit balance of P&L. So plus credit balance of P&L, that is given 1,50,000, right? 1,50,000. Then you have to subtract fictitious assets. Now see, any fictitious asset is given if your advertisement suspense, that is example of fictitious assets. Remember, your advertisement suspense is your fictitious asset, so fictitious asset will be subtracted, that is rupees 10,000, right? So minus 10,000 and you have to deduct the non-trade investment also. Now see, investment is given here 40,000. Now you are not told that if investment is trade investment or non-trade investment. If you remember, earlier I told you that the investment, if nothing is mentioned, then are to be assumed as non-trade, right? If nothing is mentioned with the word investment, then it is to be assumed as non-trade. So that is your non-trade investment, that will also be subtracted minus 40,000 and minus lastly you have to deduct existing goodwill. Now check the asset side, somewhere goodwill is given, no, so existing goodwill is not given. So finally your capital employed will be 3 lakh plus 1 lakh 4 lakh plus 150, 550 minus 10 minus 40, you get the capital employed rupees 5 lakh, right? Now check how to calculate the capital employed. Same capital employed of rupees 5 lakh can also be calculated with the asset side approach. Now according to the asset side approach, what we have to do? All assets, you have to take all assets but excluding these assets, excluding your fictitious asset, excluding the investment and excluding the existing goodwill. So you have to take all assets excluding fictitious, non-trade investment and existing goodwill. So you have to exclude these assets, right? Excluding the fictitious asset and excluding the investment. Goodwill is not given in this question. So if we exclude these assets, what the total of assets we get? 1 lakh plus 1,50,000 plus 2 lakh plus 1 lakh. So that will be your 2 plus 1, 3, 450 and 550, right? Your all assets except fictitious asset, except goodwill and except non-trade investment are totaled 5 lakh 50,000, right? Now all assets except the fictitious assets and except the non-trade investment and except the existing goodwill. Now from these all assets you will subtract the outside liabilities, right? Outside liabilities specifically means to the current liabilities. From these all assets you have to subtract the current liabilities. Now check on the liability side, what is current liability given to you? Current liabilities are creditors. Fine, creditor is your current liability and bill payable is also your current liability. So these will be subtracted from your all assets minus 30,000 creditors and minus 20,000 your bill payable. So finally you get the capital employed by this method, by this approach, again 5 lakh. So your capital employed, the amount of capital employed will remain same by either of the approaches. You have to apply the approach as per the data. In this question data was given of both approaches. That is why I was able to calculate the capital employed by the both approaches. But you have to calculate the capital employed in the questions only by any of the approach of whichever the data is given to you. Alright, let us have a recapitulation of the things. Under this method, goodwill is equal to super profits into number of years of purchase, and if your super profits are not given, then it will be calculated as super profit is equal to average adjusted profits minus normal profits, and if normal profits are also not given, then you will calculate normal profits as follow. Normal profits is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return. Normal rate of return will be given in the question. Right now, if capital employed is also not given to you, then how you will calculate the capital employed? You can calculate the capital employed with either of the two approaches, liability side approach, or you can also use asset side approach. So that was the topic for the day. Thanks.